Hello, this is Capricorn Tarot by Onyx, and today I'm going to be doing a love message for Capricorn. So thank you guys so much for hitting the like button, subscribing. I do really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and take a look into Capricorn's love life for this week, March 24th through the 29th. All right, so you guys have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moments. And then you have wedding at the bottom of the deck. So this situation involves marriage. Awesome. So let's see what exactly we have here. So let's go ahead and clarify forgiving and learning. All right, so you guys have Queen of Pentacles reverse, King of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Ten of Wands reverse, the Empress, and the Five of Swords reverse. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Swords. Awesome. Let's go ahead and clarify wedding as well. All right, so we have the Strength reverse, Chariot reverse, we have the Sun, Temperance reverse, Knight of Pentacles, the Hanged One reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Awesome. Okay. So, Capricorn. So, I do feel like in the past, there could have been some kind of like, some type of hold up in this connection for some reason. You could have felt like this person wasn't taking you seriously, or they weren't treating you like you deserve to be treated. Whether that is with how they communicate to you, okay? Whether that's like, you know, how much they're willing to kind of open up. Maybe you felt like in the past they were a little financially irresponsible, or again, you could have felt like they just weren't ready for a long-term commitment. Whatever the case is, I feel like you and this person have been forgiving and learning from this connection. So you could have felt like you have forgave and learned a lot from this person about your worth, about what you're going to deal with and what you're not going to deal with, about what you actually want, what you deserve, what that looks like, the timeline that looks like. You know, there's all of these things that I do really feel you and this person have been through. They're showing up as a King or Queen of Swords. And I feel like this person is a lot more direct, again, based on what they want, based on your worth, based on how they communicate, or based on how they deal with, you know, relationships or finances, or however it may resonate. Whatever you guys are moving past, I feel like you guys have like completely put something in the past. Five of Pentacles. So whatever you put in the past, I do feel like you could have went through some type of major break, some type of major pause. Okay. May could have been important of any year. 5 months could have been important. 5 weeks. But the 5th could be important as well. But I do feel like whatever time you guys spent apart, or if you spent just kind of like being emotionally distant from each other, I do feel like a lot of you have been in the space and been in a place where this actually benefited, why'd I say it like that? This actually benefited the relationship greatly. So we have the Ten of Wands reverse. So I do feel like the things that would stress you out about this connection don't stress you out anymore. I feel like the things that used to stress this person out don't really stress them out anymore. And I do feel like this transformation, or this transition, or this, you know, break or time off, or whatever the case may have been, has actually led you to showing up as the Empress, any gender. So like you're showing up as your worth. Maybe like in the past, this person wanted you to accept certain things. They wanted you to do certain things. They wanted, you know, you to just accept them for who they were. Okay. They could have been showing up as the King or Queen of Swords reversed. Okay. And, you know, you could have been showing up as a queen or king of pentacles upright. Like, you know your worth. But again, there was something where you guys had to either take time or basically go through some type of cycle to kind of like take a step back and see what you guys both want and what you guys are both willing to work towards and, you know, work through. So the Five of Swords is in the reverse as well. I feel like you guys have both, you know, had that conversation, or you're about to have this conversation this week. And you're basically just going to see that, like, you know, thank goodness I stuck in there as far as what I want and what that looks like and what my worth is. Because, you know, this person does see you as the Empress, or in, like, any gender. Basically, they see you as somebody who they could start a life with, okay? They see you as someone who can bring a lot to the table. They see you as someone who they're very attracted to. So, and they see you as someone who's not going to back down on their standards, okay? Bottom of the deck is a Page of Swords. So I do feel like this person is in the space, especially this week, where they are learning a lot about, like, you know, trusting their gut, trusting their intuition. What does that feel like? And I feel like their intuition is leading them to some type of long-term commitment. Okay. So this person could have been deciding what to do as far as coming forward towards you with some type of commitment. We do have the Two of Swords here. So I do feel like this person is making the decision, or they already have, and they're, you know, in the process of planning something out. But I do feel like this is someone who is very serious about trusting their gut, and they feel very led to you, and they feel like they don't want to live, you know, they don't want to like live their life without you. So bottom of the deck is Wedding. So you guys have Strength reversed, the Chariot reversed, and the Sun. So again, this person could have been kind of like, you know, putting a long-term commitment, even if it's just, you know, moving up from friends to boyfriend, girlfriend, or boyfriend, girlfriend to fiance, to that, you know, from fiance to marriage, whatever you guys believe in. But there's some type of ascension and commitment here in this reading, especially for a lot of you guys this week. So I do feel like this person could have been holding themselves back, or situations that were happening could have led you guys to kind of like talking about being serious or talking about moving to the next level together, and then there were a lot of delays. With the Sun here, I do feel like both of you are on the same page, okay? Temperance reverse, the Knight of Pentacles. I do feel like if there was any imbalances or any, like, you know, iffy things about commitment, you guys will talk through them for a lot of you this week. I also feel like you'll both feel at peace with moving forward in this connection and moving forward to some type of commitment. And the Hanged One is in the reverse here. So, you know, I think that this is a prime example of, like, not allowing anyone else to make this decision for you, okay? Especially if you have a lot of history with this person. There's something about you guys being on the same page, and the past being in the past, and you guys being super, you know, solid as far as, like, where you're going and what that looks like. There could have been things in the past that people around you don't like about this person, especially tied to you if they were, like, emotionally immature in the past. But again, this is a time where you're going to have to trust your own gut and your own intuition. And I feel like you're going to be shocked at how this person is actually really ready for some type of commitment. Bottom of the deck is what you don't see. There is some type of level of commitment. There is some type of proposal. There is some type of offer that is very solid that is coming forward towards you, with the Ace of Pentacles being at the bottom of the deck, representing what you don't see. So in the extended, we're going to be looking into what this Ace of Pentacles is and how it will come to you. And we're also going to be looking into this person, their next steps, and what that's going to look like, and getting the final outcome and some advice. So feel free to join me on Patreon. You'll have access to all of the extendeds, or just this one. Feel free to check that out in the link below. But thank you guys so much for hitting the like button and subscribing, and thank you for watching.